The third game between FXO and Fnatic here at the GSTL. To the bottom left on Daybreak, we have another Zerg player for the FXOpen team. It is not serious, he was defeated, it is...
FXO Lucky!
There we have him. A great Zerg player, sometimes there's a bit of a problem with his nerves.
He's the captain as well.
Yes, he is. He's up against the Terran player, starting to the top right. We have the one in Terran that was able to take down Sirius. Starting for Fnatic is...
Fnatic Lane!
Oh, he's got, look at that Fnatic colored mouse he's got. I like that. And you know, Fnatic and FXOpen having really similar colors actually.
Yeah. If you look at the jerseys, especially the black one that FXOpen has, that's really similar to the gear that we see for Fnatic.
Check that out.
That is really cool.
Of course, a picture of Injin, the caster, a Korean caster, very good caster, friendly guy in real life,
and a really good drawing.
Yeah, that was a sick drawing. Well, he's got so many fans. Actually, he actually wears the shirt all the time. Has a picture of him on. I'm like, how did you get that shirt? He's like, I don't know. Fans make shirts me all the time, so I wear them. I'm like, wow, Injin, like that's kind of crazy.
We have the normal opening here, by the way, so nothing out of the ordinary except for this barracks that is a little bit hidden. And it's, if you think about it, it's pretty cool, because if there would be a drone scout, you have to make sure that there is actually a barracks in the vicinity. The problem with Rain is that he just plays so many all-ins as well that you might get a little bit suspicious when you don't see a barracks in the main base.
Yeah, that's very true, and it's a trick move. It's nothing to be too worried about. Sometimes you use this barracks as well to spot the Overlord on the little pedestal and chase him away. But actually there is no pedestal on this version of the map next to the natural. Oh, there is, okay. I was feeling a little bit crazy color. I'm like, yeah, pedestal was there. I'm looking at the wrong part of the map. I'm like, I swear there was one there. It was like a terrarium. Yeah, it's there. It's still there. I'm not crazy.
For a second I was like, what? Different version of Daybreak? Isn't that the only that we have?
Yeah, okay, so.
The Marine with the moonwalk at the edge.
Yeah, he's like tiptoeing. He's like pulling a Titanic, like Rose from Titanic, like reaching across, like trying to grab the Overlord or something. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think that the Marine would make sweet loving to the Overlord, though.
I don't think so. He's trying, though. Yeah, the Overlord actually is teasing him. Overlord comes into range, and then when he gets shots, he moves back, and then he moves back again. It's pretty funny.
Rain is relying on the same build that he chose in game number 1. He's going for the double command center into a gas.
A great choice against someone who plays like Lucky does. Lucky almost never all-ins. And this is something that, if you know, you can play risky against him. And he's even going for a faster command center, faster hatchery. SCV is trying to spot it. He's going to get chased away by Lings, though.
I don't really think he saw the drone.
He needs Mineral Walk if he wants to see it.
Smart.
He will see it.
Yeah, he will definitely spot it.
So important for him to know this. Now he can just go ahead with the plan without any changes to the build.
If he did not see a third base, he might have been, especially on this map, a little bit more cautious about how he's going to approach the matchup, but now he can, of course, just build SCV after SCV, take things a little bit more, like, really easy.
Yeah.
Focus on the economy, focus on his tech.
I think he will probably go double E-base. This is a map where you can try to go Banshees late after a fast third command center, but I don't think that's really so much Rain's style. I think he's going to get the E-base very quickly.
Yeah, he didn't do the Banshee on the last map either, and it worked out really well for him. So with the upgrades that he had, he was able to take down the Mutalisk without a problem at all, put on a lot of pressure and aggression. I think this is most likely going to be what he's decided to do in this game as well.
A lot of players have been messing around with this new style where you add some Hellions into the mix as well with your bio. I wonder if we'll see something like that. This is a good map for that, I feel, but only time will tell what Rain wants to do here. There is a Ling occupying the third base location, trying to know when the command center is going to be taken. This is a map where, you know, very rarely will you see a Zerg player take a fast fourth base. It's not easy to take, it's not easy to defend.
It's also one of the things that have to be considered here is that Lucky is playing things very differently from how Sirius approached this matchup. So the very, very late third base for Sirius is something that we don't see here. Lucky is going straight for the third, and therefore Rain will also have to adjust a little bit how he's going to do this. When he can put on aggression, can be aggressive, maybe with the composition that we have, discussed earlier a little bit, Marines and Hellions, something that we've seen for quite a while. Not the strongest when your opponent is prepared, has a good creep spread, and the mechanics are one of the things where Lucky really shines.
Yeah. Both players actually starting upgrades at the exact same time, and this is actually kind of funny. We saw this somewhat similarly timed last game, but in this case it's dead even with the upgrades. A bunch of barracks being added now for Rain, and even though he's had that third command center, as you mentioned, he's gonna have to make some adjustments. I think one adjustment he might want to make is to make his third command center land a little bit faster, because it's heading over there now, but he's not been able to mine the resources that the Zerg player Lucky has already been able to get from his third hatch, since he's had it at the third base location so much longer.
You know, we talked about him being a very cautious player. This is what shows now as we have Spore Crawlers for him completing as well. He just covers everything. And right now, Lucky also trying to deny his opponent the third base. At least he knows that there's a third incoming, and now the Zergling is being destroyed. But this was really smart by Lucky. Now he knows there's a third base, the Overlord is also in position.
Oh, and he knows the Marines are out of position to kill the Ling. He's killing an Overlord, so he's taking this opportunity to run some Lings by. How quickly will he react? He lifts one Devo, but does not get the second.
Really well done by Lucky. This is exactly what you need. Well played. Takes down one SV. Probably going to be able to take down another one, 2 or 3.
Just very army and map aware. Okay, all of your Marines are killing my Overlord and killing that Ling at the third. I'm going to just take this advantage to possibly run your base and raise your depots. I'm still fine.
6 workers killed in total. Of course, the scouting SCV is one of the victims of Lucky, but 5 now in the main base. That was definitely worth it. And also, now a run by at the third base. He catches those 2 mules. Really well done.
Not only the mules, but even some Marines here. The same Marines from earlier. So he gets every mule, and it looks like he cleaned up the last of the Marines as well. And at the natural, he's a little bit exposed. Rain seems to suddenly just be really struggling to deal with this defense, and if he doesn't do something soon, he may find himself falling too far behind.
This is really bad for Rain right now. He's already way behind in overall supply, and if Lucky focuses down those SCVs, then he can do a lot more damage. 10 workers killed in total, and this puts the worker count currently up to 48 for Rain and 73 for his opponent.
Yeah, a huge supply advantage for the Zerg player here. And he starts +2 too. That's something that the Terran player here, Rain, has just not been able to afford it. Now he starts it with his combat shields, but he's got no presence on the map. He lost more so than the SCVs, I feel, his army, so he can't be aggressive. And against a Zerg player who took a fast third hatch and is now taking a fourth, you can't stop his creep spread. He's got to lift his orbital again. Oh, he's very good with that. And Stims here, he does have enough Marines this time, but a pretty okay trade actually after all. And he's not done.
You know what he doesn't have? Medivacs. He has no Medivacs, so every single stim really, really hurts. He has to stim again. He loses a lot of Marines, even though those Zerglings will eventually die to the Hellions. But this is really a lot of good aggression coming from Lucky. He's playing a great style here, transitioning into the infestation pit now, and more Lings are just running across the map while he's even taking 4th base.
Yeah, he's got that 4th base going up, and Rain cannot be aggressive on the map. He cannot actually deny bases. He cannot deny creep. There's so many active tumors out right now. 30 Banelings being morphed. He's just going to continue to attack him until he dies. Siege mode is a little bit late here. He will have some tanks out by the time this attack hits, but very likely not enough tanks. He's going to have to be on the high ground. He's going to have to be sieged. Anything else, and he's just going to die.
Siege mode will not be done in time, Wolf. If he really uses the timing, then siege mode won't be.
It looks like he's going to do it
Lucky
too.
has to concern himself with.
Yeah.
There they are. They are
rolling.
rolling.
He targeted down an Overlord, so he was totally out of position. The depots are still not even raised. The Banelings roll right in.
The Banelings, they are everywhere. They roll up the ramp. The siege tag is there, and those Banelings now heading right for the SCVs, and tick, boom.
Yeah, he barely has enough Marines to maybe clean this up, but the damage has already been done to the worker line. 73 to 47. He runs into the third. Not the best angle of attack here.
I don't think he realizes that only 2... Nah, he does. He realizes what's happening, is running in, and he will take down this bunker. The SCVs are trying to help out. The bunker is definitely going to die. At the same time, all Zerglings running into the natural, and, well, Lucky just does not stop.
Yeah, and when you have 4 hatcheries, you've got the third base up, you've had it for a while, these Lings are practically free.
The Overlord, by the way, guys, shows the wrong player in here. This is, of course, not serious. No, this is Lucky. Just a few of you got confused here. The Zerglings are putting on the pressure right now, and Rain is, at this point in time, down to 45 harvesters. He's trying to rebuild them, but the Lings are in his natural. GG! Lucky takes the win. Map number 3.
Just looking so good. I mean, the first step was seeing the army was out of position and taking advantage of that. And then he just continued the aggression. He never stopped. Rain was not able to keep his army alive, and then not only was he not able to stop the creep or stop the 4th base, he just couldn't hold wave after wave. His army got weaker and weaker, and Lucky powered through.
And you also didn't know where exactly to defend. Every single time there was a run by at the natural, then there was an attack at the 3rd. It was really well done by Lucky. So overall, a game where he showed a lot of map awareness.
Yeah, it's great map awareness. Kwani and the Fnatic team thinking pretty hard here about what they're going to have to do next.
It's once again a Zerg.
Yes.
So, do you use Alive?
You can, but you don't want to. I think, honestly, it may be time for Oz here. I think Oz could be the guy. He's got a great PVZ. He's an aggressive player. He's a little bit unpredictable. And yeah, he trained in the past with FXOpen, but I mean, putting him out here I think is a smart choice. He's a solid player who's good in all matchups, but he could stop the Zerg streak here, I think. On the other hand, Alive is also a smart choice.
And you still have Bial on the bench, so you could go for ZVZ and just trust in Bial's abilities, trust in his Zerg versus Zerg, and of course also in his ability to take down more players. Right now, he's really one of the key players in the team if he comes down to the GSTL.
Yeah, he really is. Bial actually I think would be another smart choice. It's like, do you want to use him now though? It's funny we say this because it's like, well, all these players are so good that you might want to save them for later for a more specific situation, but they've only got 5 players on the bench, so there's not a lot of movement, there's not a lot of wiggle room here.
The big problem is just that you have to deal with Linok eventually. You will have to deal with the Gumiho, and those are the big names, so these are the players that you prepare for early on. But which player was actually just sent out to train specifically for those? So we are going to find out very, very soon which team, which player is chosen by Fnatic. And here they are to the top left. We have Bial to the top right. It's Alive. And it is Alive. Another Terran. Will we see Antigua Wolf?
I think so. He gave a quick little high five there to Hwani.
It's the last Terran, so why would you not use Antigua right now? It has to be Antigua.
I would absolutely agree. Unless they have something they've planned, they want to do a Blink Stalker all-in later with Oz or something on that map, I think we will see Antigua. He is, of course, currently in Code A, just barely not able to make it into Code S.
Yeah.
Looked really good in his group.
I'm really excited for this match. Lucky against Alive is really promising. This is going to be a very good game. We have another Terran versus Zerg now, of course. And
the map is still currently unknown. We do not have an invite to the lobby, so you guys are going to have to wait, as I believe we will have a 5-minute break before that's revealed to you.
Yeah, I actually believe so. So guys, as soon as we are back from our break, we are going to find out what exactly the map is that we are going to see. Antigua seems to be like the best choice, but maybe Alive has other plans. We're going to find out very, very soon. We are back in 5. It's GSTL with Fnatic up against FXOpen.